Siegmeyer of Catarina was a knight who dreamed of heroism. Not of glory, not of conquest, but of becoming someone worthy of being called brave. He came from the distant land of Catarina, clad in his unmistakable onion-shaped armor, carrying with him a hopeful spirit that seemed almost out of place in the dying world of Lordran. Siegmeyer believed that great deeds defined a man, and that courage could be found on the battlefield. Yet, despite his noble intentions, he was plagued by hesitation. Whenever danger loomed too large, his resolve faltered, and doubt took hold. Throughout his journey, Siegmeyer was often found standing before seemingly insurmountable obstacles. In Sen's fortress, he waited at the gates, unable to decide how to face the traps and enemies ahead. Later, in Orlando, he stood pondering how to deal with the silver knights guarding his path. Again and again, he would pause, lost in thought, searching for an answer that never came. Each time, fate intervened in the form of another warrior. Enemies were slain, paths were cleared, and Siegmeyer was left to believe that progress had been made. He would cheerfully thank his savior, convinced that the challenge had been overcome. But deep down, he knew the truth. These victories were not his own. They were borrowed triumphs, and each one weighed heavier on his conscience than the last. Despite his shortcomings, Siegmeyer possessed a rare kindness. In a world consumed by decay, madness, and despair, he remained warm and sincere. He laughed easily, shared stories, and treated strangers as friends. His optimism was not ignorance, but a fragile shield against the crushing reality of Lordran. Yet, behind his cheerful demeanor lay a growing sense of failure. He had set out to become a hero, but instead found himself relying on others at every turn. Eventually, his journey led him to Blighttown, a place of filth and poison, where the dangers were relentless and unforgiving. There, once again, Siegmeyer found himself overwhelmed. Trapped among the poisonous creatures below, he was saved only through the intervention of another. Though he survived, the pattern repeated itself, and his self-doubt deepened further. Unbeknownst to him, his daughter, Sieglinde of Catarina, had followed his trail. Determined to find her father, she traveled across Lordran, hoping to bring him home. When they finally reunited, Sieglinde saw through his cheerful words. She recognized the weight he carried, the burden of unmet expectations, and the quiet despair he tried so hard to hide. Siegmeyer, however, could not abandon his quest. To return home without proving himself would mean accepting that he had failed entirely. And so he pressed on, driven not by hope anymore, but by desperation. He needed one true victory, one deed that was undeniably his. This final chance came in the ruins of lost Izalith. There, Siegmeyer faced a horde of Chaos Eaters, monstrous beings born of a failed attempt to recreate the first flame. For once, he did not hesitate. He did not wait. He charged forward alone, determined to fight without assistance, even if it meant his death. In that moment, Siegmeyer fought with everything he had. No borrowed victories, no one to clear the path, only him, his armor, and his resolve. The battle was brutal, and though he survived, he was gravely wounded. His body could not endure the cost of his decision. When Sieglinde found him afterward, she understood what had happened. Siegmeyer had finally achieved what he sought, not glory, but self-acceptance. He had faced danger on his own terms, without fear or doubt. And though it cost him his life, he died believing that he had finally become the hero he always wanted to be. Siegmeyer of Catarina's story is not one of triumph, but of humanity. He was not the strongest knight, nor the bravest. He stumbled, hesitated, and relied on others. Yet, in a world that worships strength and condemns weakness, his struggle feels painfully real. In the end, Siegmeyer did not conquer Lordran, nor did he change its fate. But he found meaning in his final stand, and peace in the knowledge that he tried. And in doing so, he left behind a legacy far more powerful than victory. The quiet courage of a man who faced his doubts and moved forward anyway.